This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
And Max Arraj. I'm going to get that recording for you one of these days. I got to get in the zone, get my voice feeling right for it. But welcome to the LowcoSports Lowdown Monday night edition. Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, along with Mad Max Arraj. And the March is over, but the madness is not, boys. Caitlin Clark throwing up some madness tonight, but more relevant to – not relevant to our interests because I was locked into this LSU Iowa game. That was legit, but more relevant to the topic that we typically talk about, which is local sports. Our Lowco boy's still in it. He's going to the Final Four. Nick Pringle, massive game the other night against Clemson, 16 points, 11 boards. Really did a great job on PJ Hall. And he was doing it on one leg, really. He turned that ankle that's been bothering him early and was hobbling around, and you were worried he might not, keep playing. But, man, he came out and was an absolute man. Got the hard hat, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
The beast from Seabrook.
Gotta love it. Gotta love that. That is good stuff. But no, it's been a bumpy ride for him. If you want to go all the way back, his brother was, tragically died after he was having a mental health episode. Paramedics and law enforcement came to the scene. He was tasered numerous times and he passed away as a result. Just a horrible, horrible tragedy. To befall you. His brother was like his best friend. He's got his brother's face tattooed on his right arm, big, beautiful mural on his arm, So just overcoming that as a kid, first of all, is a lot. He comes from, a tough spot where there's not a lot of wealth, not a lot of opportunity. And he, was kind of on the fringe of the radar for a long time. And then he shot up. The height came, and he became a whole thing, and led him to the state championship game. Last thing we did before COVID was cover those guys in the state championship, just about. And then, off to Wofford, got some opportunities early. Didn't really, wasn't working for whatever reason. He was looking for something different. Went to Dodge City. Killed it at Dodge City, number one power forward in the country in the JUCO ranks. Got the opportunity at Alabama. This year's been bumpy. He's spent time away from the team a couple of times, suspended for, they don't disclose what, but reading between the lines, it was just kind of attitude adjustment stuff. And then there was speculation when he wasn't on the flight to Spokane for the first two rounds that something was going on there. Turns out he was just dealing with some personal stuff and traveled separately. But it's clear right now that he's all in with this team and they're all in with him, man. And it's pretty special to watch the other night. There was the one moment late where they got crossed up and he tried to give and go, and he and Sears kind of got in each other's, jawed at each other a little bit. But I think that's just kind of indicative of that kind of band of brothers mentality that they have right now as they try to keep this thing going as long as they can. But it really was awesome to watch him and just to reflect on, how far he's come. It's been awesome to see.
Kid from Seabrook, South Carolina. And I remember just when I joined you here at LowcoSports, he was one of the first guests we had on to one of our inaugural podcasts. It was like third, fourth. It was one of the very early ones. And Nick Pringle, who just came off a huge summer recruiting wise, and he just committed to Wofford, I believe. We had him on to discuss that, and he talked about, his journey through basketball to that point, what he did in the community with the Trays for Trey program that he established for the Seabrook kids in there. And just an amazing person, a great leader, and, someone who was ready to seize the opportunity he was going to get. And certainly I thought Wofford's going to be a good fit, but sometimes it just doesn't work for you out there. And, just the knowledge to find the opportunity that he did at Dodge City and just to build, just get stronger, get, more physical on the court at the college level, just, find the mentality that you need to compete and win at the highest ranks of, the college level, which is, it's much easier said than done. And the work that he put in throughout those couple of years, just gave him the opportunity to head on to Alabama and showcase what he's learned. And, it's never been easy with the Crimson Tide as well. There's been a lot of adversity in the last 2 seasons, whether it's been, self-inflicted or, just amongst the team in general. But he's done a great job of staying the course and, bonding the relationships that he's needed to with his guys. And then when the opportunity has arose, he just continues to do the job and find a way to put his team over the top in this NCAA tournament, and just the will and, that strength that he developed from always having, the underdog mentality, being the Lowco, being in a spot where, it's never given to you easily. You have to earn it. And that's the underdog mentality that just Seabrook and Wilbranch High School, represents and shows, no matter what sport it is. It's that chip on your shoulder underdog, mentality that they've adopted. And, we've seen some guys, D. Delaney, made it to the NFL. We've seen Ryle Owens take a similar mold over at Buford, but Nick Pringle, just that dog, that laser sharp focus, is something that he started to adopt at the high school level with Wilbranch, and really pleasure to cover that state championship run. With his band of brothers over there, and if we talk to him today, he'll definitely tell us how important that team and those guys meant to him. Building relationships and growing as a player. I mean, you just look at the impacts that those guys made, those teammates. Learning to play as a team, as a group, and the amount of clutch plays he had in that postseason run. Epic dunk in the Lower State Championship at near the end of the game to send him to that final game. And then here, where the lights of the brightest national stage, the NCAA tournament, when he's called upon, he delivers. And
he rose to the moment
late in the game against Clemson,
for sure.
Yeah, and that's what the great do. And guys that just find a way, regardless of where they came from, regardless of their background, the hand they're dealt, they find a way to make it happen. And that's what he did.
How'd you feel about it, Max? You're wearing your Clemson shirt over there, so bittersweet to say the least.
Yeah. Hey, I got to watch that game, and I was so excited for Nick Pringle. The way he played, I was like, this dude's playing lights out. There's no stopping this dude. So hats off to Alabama, but hey, how about Clemson, man? They got to the elite. Yeah, what a run! No one really thought they'd make it this far. I mean, they saw them going up against Arizona, and we were like, oh, no, they're done. And then somehow they found a way to beat Arizona, get into the Elite Eight against what's a really good Alabama team. And I should remind everyone, this isn't the first time these two teams have played this season either. If you remember at the beginning of the season, Clemson did play at Alabama, and they beat Alabama. Right. So this was kind of a revenge game for Alabama, too. So, I mean...
defense! Defense!
Right. Trying to get it muted. Defense. We had a
defense
special guest there for a second.
Look, great run for Clemson. I'm excited to see how Alabama does in the Final Four. I mean, we all know who they're going up against. It is UConn. We'll have to see how that one goes, because that could either be very interesting or very deadly.
You got to survive the first punch. You can't let them get ahead of you quickly if you're Alabama.
But I mean, even then, like UConn was they were pretty close with Illinois.
5-point game at halftime.
And then they went on a
25-0
to start the second half. 30-0 to start the second half, man. So, it doesn't even matter. I mean, this team is so deadly. You got to find just the right way to figure out how to stop them, and that's not an easy thing to do. But hey, man, hats off to Bama. What a great game that was that we all got to witness between Clemson and Bama. So, hey, Clemson ended up going home, but I'm okay with that. They had a hell of a run, and
somehow we got
can't ask
Illinois
for more.
UConn here when I was asking for
doing some scouting over there for the Huskies.
That's right.
Huskies.
See, this is how we got ads. Because I was trying to show us highlights of Alabama and Clemson, but the internet is not cooperating with me.
Well, while it's loading, how about the Wolfpack of NC State, the men's
gosh.
team, making it?
DJ Burns, baby.
Yeah, DJ Burns,
York Prep.
Yeah,
that dude.
Another former South Carolina stud.
Yeah.
Beast
that
mode.
Dude's incredible. He's incredible.
Now they just
they got him listed at 275, but
they had to win their conference tournament 5 games, 5 days just to make it, and now they're in the Final Four.
And they had lost their last 4 in the regular season. Like they were really down bad, and Keats was going to get fired, and now they're in the Final Four. And I don't discount their chances against Purdue.
Yeah,
I think Burns is a nightmare matchup for Edey. He's going to have to be able to run the floor with him, and he'll put him in the spin cycle, and his feet can't handle that. Like Burns' feet are way quicker than Edey's. Now, there's the whole thing where they don't call fouls on Edey, so that's kind of that makes it difficult.
But I mean, the opportunity is there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's the guy you want to focus on. And if you're able to control and contain Edey, which nobody has been able to do, this year. But obviously they lost to the 16th seed last season, but they've definitely found a different wind, a different mentality. But NC State, I mean, they're playing like unstoppable team that can't lose to anybody right now. And it's not just DJ Burns, but DJ Horn has been an excellent shooter. And O'Connell's made a couple of threes. They've got a couple of role players that just seems like just when they're out of it, they find a way to get back in the ball game and hit the shots they need to. So that's a relentless squad. Going to be tough to go up against. But I mean, give credit away.
South Carolina prep guys, PJ Hall's awesome too. Yeah. He's fun to watch. Yeah. He's a great player.
Yeah, dude, he's a beast, man.
Yep.
So is Shefflin, bro. Shefflin for Clemson, dude, is a beast as well. And you got Chase Hunter too. I mean, I saw them going at best to the Sweet 16 because I thought if they can play at the best of their abilities, they could beat just about anyone. I mean, honestly, we saw them at the beginning of the season. We were like, oh, this team's really good. And then the ACC schedule hit, and they just kind of fell apart in the ACC. But once the tournament was over, they just kind of started looking like the team that I saw at the beginning of the season where they had talent and experience together. And I just looked at it and I was like, they could make a deep run. I just don't know if they can beat Arizona. And then they beat Arizona and stunned everyone. And
it feels like they're always it feels like they're always like a really streaky kind of emotional up and down team. Like they'll come out red hot. They'll have a lull where they just look like dogs for a couple of weeks and then they'll turn it back on, it seems like they're always like that under Brownell. I don't know what it is, but they seem, when they get down on themselves, they seem to get down bad until they come back from it. But
that game was a great game. Was close the entire time. I mean, we were on the edge of our seats during the Samtrack rewind watching that game.
Clemson came out just unbelievable at the start of the game.
Yeah, and then somewhere like towards like the 4-minute mark of the first half, they just kind of started falling apart for a minute. But I don't know. If they were able to hold that lead, we would have been talking about a different story here, to be honest. Well, if they could have kept playing like they did at the beginning of the game,
we would have been talking about Clemson.
We would have. We would have.
Probably not, but not that much.
No, we'd be talking about UConn more.
We're really in it for
Are we talking about Nick Pringle?
We're in it for
I love Clemson, but I mean, this is all about a local boy who has overcome the odds and is putting together a heck of a story. And we saw them get close last year. They got to the Sweet 16, and now Nick getting some more time and just taking advantage. Making the plays he needs to, beast on the boards, and Alabama just find a way, as you said, against a very gritty Clemson team. And Oates and his guys, just believe a little more in first half and into the second. But yeah, what a great game. I mean, these are the kinds of games that you just remember for years upon years, and just to have our local spin in a game like this. Oh, what a shot, by the way. I mean, first Final Four in their program history. I mean, either one of those teams was going to get to the Final Four for the first time. But
yeah, it's not fair, man. They're good at football. They don't get to be good at basketball too.
Well, I mean, hello, Clemson, same thing.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. It's not fair. Neither one of these teams is supposed to.
Well, we could say that about we could say that about. Well, actually, no.
But the cool thing is, despite them being like storied football programs and teams do well in that sport, I think there are a lot more fans that are rooting for them. Because they're
I actually liked it.
Yeah.
I was just joking around, but I actually like seeing some new blood.
Right.
I love the idea.
I mean,
it's rare now to see.
It's better than seeing bloods every year, because there are some schools where you get the North Carolina, Villanova, Kentucky every turn or every
at least Duke didn't get in.
Yeah, Duke didn't get in. So
that's plus.
So we got San Diego State, Florida Atlantic in the past, Miami.
Yeah.
So it's just good to see the Cinderella runs. It's what tournament's all about. Everybody loves to see the underdog win, and NC State being the 11th seed, getting to the Final Four, and Alabama certainly in the 4th seed, but certainly a team that was a little on the underrated side, and a lot of people expected to either. A lot of people.
I can't believe he still doesn't have an NIL deal from Pringles. By the way, that's just marketing failure.
Yep.
Mr. Pringle.
He could deliver the once I can't stop.
No.
Good Lord.
Yeah, that was nice.
Dude, PJ Hall is a beast, man.
Oh,
golly.
He really is. He's crazy good.
I'm intrigued to see where he goes.
Pass. What a pass by Pringle.
What a dish.
Great dish. He made a couple dishes in this game that you're just like, wow, that is beautiful stuff. See in the court. Yeah, you've seen growth in his game, certainly. Yeah. I mean, from last year to this year, especially last night, the way that he played both ends of the floor, I was impressed. I still think he's fringy as far as NBA prospects go, but I wouldn't write him off.
No, I wouldn't either.
He's developing. He's still got another year of eligibility should he choose to go back.
Oh, I think he will.
I would assume so. But yeah, big time, man. Props to his mama, Quaj. To have to deal with the loss of a son, and then pick yourself back up, and keep raising the rest of your family, and to get your boy to this height is, it's pretty special. It's pretty cool thing. And there was a whole village around her, and a lot of people contributed. And you mentioned the brotherhood with his teammates at Whale Branch. Jim Raymond has been a regular traveling to go see him play and stuff too, now in retirement. So that bond between coach and player was really deep with those two. Jim really poured himself into Nick, for those 2 or 3 years, recognizing the potential and the talent and the stakes, frankly, to be able to leverage it. He really put a lot into him, and that was ridiculous. Caitlin Clark tonight, though. Caitlin made a bunch of those tonight. She was just raining them in.
Yeah, but that's just Caitlin, man. She can do that with ease, bro.
I was thinking about that during the game. During the game, I was thinking about, like, if you're just popping in, and there's a lot of people who have they know who she is, but they haven't watched a game. You just pop in and you watch tonight, and you're like, holy cow, this is unbelievable. But the thing is, like, it wasn't that far outside of the norm for her. It was, a little better than her normal, but it was, It wasn't like unprecedented or anything. The girl does it all the time. It's unbelievable.
But to do it at the stage of
right on that stage,
where more people are watching
against that team,
against the team that they lost to in the championship against LSU. I mean, that was a revenge game that was marked.
There's our boy.
Yeah. Pringle.
Tip in. And the foul. Yeah. I believe he got one more down the stretch. But to do it on that stage and against that team, because that LSU team is incredibly talented. Angel Reese is unbelievable. Flau'jae Johnson from Savannah was incredible tonight. I mean, they're really solid. And another South Carolina connection, the big breaking story that much to do was made about this week in the Washington Post about Kim Mulkey, written by the state alum Kent Babb. He's a South Carolina alum, as a matter of fact.
Clemson was right in this with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, they were, man.
Oh, I know. They got down to the wire. They got down.
I believe Pringle delivers again right here. Yes.
Oh, left him open.
And one. Yeah. 2+1 again.
That was the signature play right there for Nick.
I think if he does another season,
defenders right at the rim.
Yeah, I think if he does another season, if he does another season with Alabama, I think he could be an NBA prospect easily. Because what I'm seeing right now, if he can play like that next season, there's no way I don't see him making the NBA draft.
He's just going to have to continue to develop away from the basket and facing the basket to be able to play in the NBA. He's going to play professionally. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. He's going to play pro basketball. I don't know about that. I just don't know about the NBA. Possibly, but there's still some development, I think, that has to happen. But the development is happening. Like he is becoming a more well-rounded player in real time. I think, the story's yet to be written, right? Like, D. Delaney didn't make it in the NFL before he did. Ron Parker didn't make it in the NFL before he did. Just because you don't make it initially doesn't mean you don't make it. You keep grinding and you keep developing, you keep getting better, and see what happens. So. But, incredible stuff from our guy, Nick Pringle. We'll shift gears now into high school stuff after we shout out our MVP sponsors. We've got my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. She's with Keller Williams of the Lowcountry, the new Anchor Home Group, and she would love to list your home. If you're thinking about getting in there, it's a great time to sell your house. So if you're thinking about upgrading or moving on, we'd love to talk with you about listing that home. Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. Homegrown Home Inspections is the official home inspector of LowcoSports. Jan Lucas and his team are the best in the biz in the Lowco when it comes to inspecting homes and making sure you're making a great investment. And if you need a phased inspection for a new build, you got to do it with Homegrown Home Inspections. They'll make sure they're building that home correctly and up to code every step of the way, and they're the official home inspectors of LowcoSports. Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate closing attorneys of LowcoSports and the presenting sponsor of our HHCA coverage. They've been with us since the beginning. Our original sponsors in 2017. Mickelson Law Firm can help you with all your legal needs, and Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, official hospice provider of LowcoSports, the only not-for-profit hospice in Southern Beaufort County, and the nonprofit of the year in the Golden Oyster Awards this year. Congrats to Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, where it's not about dying, it's about living. Javon Livingston from Beaufort's Own, our buddy, checking in, says on development, I like his aggression now. At Whale Ranch, I didn't think he played like he was the biggest kid on the court every night. Yeah, I agree with that. There were times where he really asserted himself, and there were times where it looked like he was kind of questioning himself or doubting and, imposter syndrome a little bit. There's definitely a lot more confidence to his game now, and especially last night, man, he was cranked up to 11. He was on a special level last night. That was fun to watch. But talking about what went down tonight in the Lowco, guys, we had quite a few things on tap. I haven't seen lacrosse scores yet. Hilton Head girls soccer 5-1 over Hilton Head Prep. That was impressive to me. That's a really good Hilton Head Prep team. Beaufort girls took down Battery Creek 6-0. Haven't seen the boys score yet on Beaufort Battery Creek. On the softball diamond, Hanahan beat Battery Creek 6-5, scored 2 in the 7th to walk it off. Tough loss for the Dolphins. Cross beat Bridges Prep by a touchdown, 23-16. They had an 11-run third inning. Cross drew 28 walks and 2 hit by pitches, so that was wild.
Oh my goodness!
28 one game.
Yeah. Baseball, May River 12-4 over Hampton. Bluffton 11-0 over Barnwell. Max has a few highlights from that one we'll check out from the 9-run first inning for the Bobcats, and then he wisely split to go watch Caitlin Clark. And Hilton routed Battery Creek 17-2 in 3 innings. And Wes, you have some highlights from that one. The hit tournament, Buford 5-4 over Ardrey Kell, which I'm not sure where they're from. I need to look that up. HHCA beat Timberland 11-1, which got them the matchup with James Island, which they lost 8-6. They were up 5-4, and then Kyle Stock from James Island hit a go-ahead grand slam with 1 out in the 4th. They got a couple back, had guys on base in the 6th, but couldn't push them across. So tough loss, but solid showing against a really good undefeated James Island team. So that's everything that went down tonight. Let's dive into what you guys saw. Not very interesting baseball games, quite frankly, but Max, you caught a little bit of Bluffton and Barnwell. Let's see. Miles Fry went the distance, 2-hitter, 5 Ks in a shutout. Gavin Carrick, and I think this is Gavin right here, goes 3 for 4 with a double and 4 RBIs. So big night for the big guy behind the dish. Jack Nelson,
I
3 times.
mean, all of a sudden, they scored. I think about almost all. I think 8 of their 9, or 7 or 8 of their 9 runs were with like 2 outs left in the first. 2 outs in the first inning. So they just kind of rallied for an inning, and I was just like, yeah, this game might be done. And I think a couple freshmen got their chance to play. I'm trying to think of some names. I'll probably think of it later. But good win. I wasn't sure how good Barnwell was. I guess not as good as I was expecting them to be. So I mean, kind of like a easy one for Bluffton High School tonight. So good win.
That pretty well sums it up. Pretty easy one for them tonight, and a pretty easy night for the Seahawks as well.
They were
Why are we
tonight.
both wearing darks? We got to communicate about the jersey colors, fellas.
Actually, mention that the USCB baseball game on, what was it, Saturday? Flanders wearing all black, and we're wearing all navy blue.
Everybody was wearing the City Connects, and they were navy and black. We call them the City Connects in honor of Butch Mullis. That's what he calls the all blue ones from May River, the City Connects. But yeah, the black and the navy, you couldn't tell what the heck was going on that grainy stream, like what?
Yeah. I was just like,
wild.
It was.
But how we
well,
not? And the day before, they were both wearing the same color too, or close to it.
I couldn't tell who was who. And we were at the game too. I'm like, who's wearing what now?
We got to communicate about this.
There. Wait, catch and left.
Incredible.
Wow. Robbing Jackson Bybee.
That was great.
Right at the wall.
Tracked it down, son.
And this was the game-winning knock with the 15-run rule in effect in the 3rd inning to win it for the Seahawks. But yeah, offensive showcase for Hilton Head. Landon Schwartz 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles. Grady Charrington doesn't remember that name. He has been raking. He also drove in 3. Connor McCabe with a double as well. They were seeing the ball very, very well tonight and making excellent contact and turned a nice double play as well defensively. So really everything clinical on both offense and pitching as well. Jensen Beretti threw the 3rd and threw a perfect inning, 2 strikeouts. So, great to see him get in there and producing them out. But Hilton Head just showing, potential of what they can do offensively when they're clicking. And that's a team that got a couple of big wins over Bluffton. They swept that series, and it puts them in good position to at least get a playoff spot. Now in this region, they still have some opportunities to go up against some strong teams. I think they got James Island still to go, so that will be an interesting series. I like James Island, but we've seen we've seen some other local squads compete well against them, like Colleton County. So Hilton Head, I think they're starting to improve. They've gotten some. I mean, they're looking a lot better than they did last season, in my opinion. I think the offense has gotten better, and the pitching has been good at times. As long as they're able to contain. They've had a couple of moments there. It's kind of all slipped away from them, especially in that May River game at home. They were strike away of getting to the seventh with a 1-run lead. They couldn't hold it and drop third strike. And so if you can get rid of those mental mistakes and don't give away those free outs, Hilton Head, that team you cannot look away from, especially by what they can do offensively and the tools that they have. So I think the coach over there is doing an excellent job. This season. Matt Bowman, yeah.
Yeah, I'm impressed as well. I really like his attitude and his mentality. Very positive, very point the thumb, not the finger type guy. I think he picked up a lot of that from Clock, because Clock was the same kind of guy.
Reminds me a lot of Clock.
I think it's going really well over there. I really do. He reminds me. Yeah, it's the same philosophy.
Yep.
I think there's a good deal there. They've got James Island and Lucy Beckham left, so it's pretty tough what they have left. So Colleton, if they don't take care of it, Colleton could potentially sneak up, or it'd be tough for Bluffton. Bluffton would have to.
Yeah, they still have
pretty
to
much
off Colleton.
They got to either sweep Beckham or Colleton,
yep,
and take at least 1 out of 2 on the other one.
Right.
They're in a tough spot right now. So. But it's not over. It's definitely not over.
No.
It's anybody can sweep anybody. May River's in good shape in second right now, but they still got work to do, and they got to face James Island. So, we'll see how it all shakes out. But James Island, for an undefeated team, they do feel very gettable. They've won a lot of close games. They got a 8-6, a 2-1, a 4-2, a 4-3, a 5-3, a 4-1. An 8-6, they've had a lot of close games, so I don't think they're unbeatable by any means. They're a very good team, and there's a reason they win those close games. They find a way, but I don't think they're unbeatable. But looking at the other baseball, May River over Hampton 12-4. Johnny Hull staffed it. Micah Morgan went the first 2, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks. Also went 1 for 3, walked twice, scored a run, and drove 1 in. That's a good day. Tyson Brasington, 2 for 3, scored twice. Joe Schroeder, 2 for 3, 2 RBIs. Max Van Esselston, 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. So solid outing by the Sharks. We went over Bluffton and Hilton Head. Beaufort holds on. Well, actually, they rallied and then held on 5-4. Malcolm Webb went 6, 4 hits, 4 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk, 6 Ks, 4 more errors for Beaufort. Still got to clean it up. Carter Womack, 8 pitches, pitching to contact to close it out in the 7th. Logan Brutcher, 2 for 3. Hudson Mullen, 2 for 2 with an RBI. Reese Mullen, 2 for 2. Still think that Beaufort team is pretty dangerous. And then Hilton Head Christian, really good day for them, even though they lose to James Island. Zane Wilson goes 5 against Timberland, 1 hit, 1 run, not earned, 3 walks, 12 Ks. Dylan Clark pitched the 6th and struck out the side. Steelbird homered. Roman Colella, 3 for 3 with 2 doubles. Cody Bratt, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Chip Hassel, 2 for 4 with an RBI. And then, of course, they lost the tough one to James Island, 8-6. But really good showing there. Prep had a good showing the other night, 10-0 over Habersham. Connor Campbell went deep twice. So looking forward to seeing those teams tee it up again next week. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
it's
going to be fun. Actually, on top of that, next week, Christian Academy's got both JP2 and Prep next week, because that JP2 game that was rescheduled to next Monday. So I'm excited. It's gonna be a big week for Christian Academy, because if they beat both JP2 and Prep next week, I believe they'd be in the lead for the region title. So
it's only those 3, right? It's a 3-team region.
Yeah, whoever wins. I mean, unless JP2 beats one of them, it's whoever wins game 3.
Yeah,
but
so I mean,
if JP2 beat one of them once, that still wouldn't.
They still wouldn't be in it.
They would still have head-to-head. So
I mean, it's
whoever wins that game, that's huge.
Yeah, potentially that Prep game next week between Prep and Christian next week will be the region title game. That will be the game for the region title. So I'm
For all
excited to
intents
see
and
how it
purposes,
goes.
barring something
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, barring something completely insane. But
Mhm.
yeah, it should be a good week. Hey, they beat Timberland today. Really good outing for them against Timberland. I would have liked to see them play James Island first to see if that would have made any difference. See if that would have made it a little bit different because they basically played 2 games today. But after that,
yeah.
I don't know. Well, we'll see. They still got a bit of. They still have 1 or 2 games left in this tournament. I guess that all depends. So
yeah, I don't know how it works after this, but they'll play more games.
yeah, so
pretty sure.
we'll see who they play next. I'm intrigued to see who they play next because there are a lot of good teams in this tournament from what I've been told.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued to see how they do. And then later in the season they got AC Flora. So
Yeah, they do.
They're at AC Flora
Next Friday and Saturday. Next Friday and Saturday.
So I'm intrigued to see how they do against that team. They got a lot of challenging teams on their schedule, and I think that helps them a lot.
I like it.
So I would have loved to have been at that James Island game. I think that would have been such a great game to go and watch, and obviously it ended up being a great game, a 2-run game. So they keep.
Yeah, they're supposed to play. They're supposed to play tomorrow at 10 a.m. I think, but that's what they had on their schedule.
I think it's at 10 a.m. for the next 2 days or something like that.
That's what they had on their schedule, but I don't know if that's still accurate or not. And of course, the weather is always a factor.
Yeah.
But yeah. But softball, just a couple games. Hanahan 6-5 over Battery Creek. Hanahan got off to a 4-1 lead. Creek came back and took the lead 5-4 and then gave up 2 in the 7th. But Caitlin Bentley went 3 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs. Brooke Crosby 2 for 3 with a double and an RBI. And then that cross Bridges Prep debacle. Bridges Prep had 21 hits, but they lost 23-16.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a crazy number. That is nuts.
Mallory Brown for Bridges Prep went 5 for 5 with a homer, 4 RBIs or 4 runs and 2 RBIs in a losing effort. Tough.
I just I don't know.
Tough way to go.
Cross only had 9 hits.
Yeah. Well, it's the 28 walks. It's the 28 walks.
Where did the 28 walks come from?
Yeah.
Boy, that must have been a
good paces
long
to play.
I mean, I've seen a lot of rec softball, so I kind of have an idea what it looks like. I've coached a lot of rec softball.
Too.
Sometimes you just can't do it.
But still,
I think the moral to the story is we got to develop more softball pitchers at the lower levels, so we have more at the high school levels.
Yeah,
that's the moral of the story. But varsity sponsors of LowcoSports, DDS Web Design builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits that get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, call on DDS at ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Hampton, Colleton, and Jasper counties, and they'd love to help you with that. It's like they're helping us continue to expand our coverage across those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco. Reverence Wrestling Club is the official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind podcast. If you want to take your skills on the mat to the next level, you got to get to Reverence Wrestling Club. And Dr. Ambrose Cole is the official chiropractor of LowcoSports and the only, and you can find him at Rooted Living Wellness. He's not the only chiropractor, but you can find him at Rooted Living Wellness, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. That's Dr. Ambrose Cole at Rooted Living Wellness. So, fellas, the only other thing going down tonight, a little soccer action. Mentioned Buford beating Battery Creek 6-0. Selena Duncan, 2 goals, 3 assists. Peyton Mullen, 2 goals and an assist, and Gianna Pacheco and Charlotte Blair Scarpa each scored a goal. And then Hilton Head, 5-1 over Hilton Head Prep. Sam Garcia, goal and 2 assists. Katie Russo, Ava Poplin, Hala Brantley, and Mia Castaldi each scored a goal. That Hilton Head team, man, Kyle Newcomb has done a tremendous job with that team this year.
He's been, just amazing what he's done to power a Hilton Head team that, they were just a few years off from getting to the lower state championship game, but they definitely had to reload with the talent that they lost. And a lot of young players have stepped up for this team, including Ava Poplin, who, sister of Maya, who was Gatorade State Player of the Year right before COVID hit in 2020. So, another familiar name there, Poplin last name, Hilton Head. But they've found some gems on that team, and they're just playing. I love their style. I mean, they take advantage. They're quick. They take advantage of the counter when they see the opportunities, and they just have a good scoring touch. When they find opportunities to make a good pass, or they're good in set pieces too. They can score off corners, and just a really well coached team that is brought in together, and they're playing some great soccer. So they're right in the mix in what's always a really tough region. So I'm excited to see how things continue to go down as we get deeper into the schedule, as we're about a month away from playoffs. So still a lot of more, important games to go on the soccer side. I'm trying to see if these games are accurate, because we got Bluffton at May River for girls coming up on Tuesday.
Yeah, that one got postponed.
Okay.
That one got postponed before.
Okay.
So the guys played, but the girls didn't that night for some reason.
I'll be there tomorrow night. Yeah,
that is happening.
Okay. I'm just taking a look at that Hilton Head girls team. Yeah, I got to see them and actually against Bluffton, and that was a close first half, but they really took control in the second. And I really am blessed to be able to talk with Coach Kyle Newton. He really he's been around the Lowcountry. He's coached at Bluffton, but this was a new challenge for him. Taking advantage of a team where things weren't as good as they were. I mean, this is a storied program. I mean, this team won 4 state titles in a row a decade ago.
Yeah,
and they won a couple more, and there were some they got close to, there's one year they got to the state championship, and this girl from Jarrett scored 5 goals in one game, and they lost, which was crazy. But this is a team that has been state champion contenders seemingly every year, and it's just great to see this team reach that tier that we know they can get to. And I mean, you talk about what they did this early on this year. They went up against a couple of tough squads: Eastside, perennial contender, Oceanside, and then had a tough loss against May River 2-1, and they lost Lucy Beckham and James Island 5-1, 4-2, but they came back and beat Bluffton at their place again with a convincing 3-0 win. So they're going to have to take down one of these. Lucy Beckham, if they want to win a state title, it's going to go through that. It's going to go through Lucy Beckham and James Island. I mean, those are the teams you're going to have to beat. And can you get yourself to that next gear as a team in order to, compete with? I mean, you see James Island one more time, you see Lucy Beckham one more time. May River will be interesting. That rematch should be tight. They lost 2-1 at home. The game again on Friday the 5th. So I might be at that one. That should be a terrific match. So 2 big games for May River in a row. They got Bluffton and Hilton Head at home. So could be a season. It just you just look at how big every game is. You only see each team twice, and only the top 4 are able to get in. And so every game is absolutely massive. And so what a huge week for May River and for Hilton as well. And can you build off this performance? They actually play at home on Thursday against Kennesaw Mountain. Coming in. Maybe it's their spring break. They're from
I saw that.
Georgia. Yeah,
here's your Hilton Head soccer historical run. The state championship in 07, 08, which would have been 08. And then they won them in 11, 12, 13, and 14, runner-up in 15 and 16. Yeah. That's an unbelievable run that they had. Started under Larry Tavino, who had a lot of success at prep before he went to the high school, and then Ernie Swozy just carried it. When I first got here, Swozy was at Hilton Head Christian and had a really good team, and then he went over to the high school and just dominated for a long time. That guy was intense, man. It was fun to watch him coach and talk to him after the games. But no, they're definitely. I've been impressed with the growth we've seen over the course of the season. The second time through the schedule, they're looking really tough. So that's an impressive win. But Yeah. Max, what's up, buddy? How you doing over there?
I'm doing all right. Sorry. It's
Max,
been a long day.
it was fun to call those USCB softball games with you over the weekend.
Yeah, man.
It was great to see. I want to talk about the finale, that last softball game where they held on 4-3. Sierra Kinlaw and company get it done. That was a huge momentum building win. Even though they weren't able to take the series to win that last one, they needed to win badly. I mean,
it doesn't matter where in the series. Like that third game is always the most important game. It doesn't matter if you're down 2-0 in the series. It doesn't matter if you're, if you're tied 1-1 in the series or anything like that. That game 3 is the most important game of the series, and winning that builds momentum going into whatever the next series is. So to see them get that win, be able to hold on to that 4-3 lead for much of the second half of that game,
right?
It tells me that they can hold on to leads, and we've seen them have problems with that before. We've seen them. We saw them have major problems with Flagler.
I thought it was interesting. They let Sierra finish this one. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, and I think that was the question
times
because they took the ball away from her in that game on St. Patrick's Day on that Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And
a couple times they did.
Yeah, she had not pitched the 7th, and this time they let her finish the job. And I think it was the right move by ESP to give her the ball. And,
we talked about that, and I'm like, why not keep your ace pitcher through the 7th inning? And we said, well, hey, they're seeing her for the 3rd time. And in my thought process is, I don't care. If you're my ace pitcher, you should be able to finish games like that.
Well, and I think that's kind of the conclusion they've arrived at is maybe she's still your best the 3rd time through the order. And, if she is, then you gotta, you can't leave gas in the tank if she's the best you got.
Yeah.
And I think she's kind of shown she's the one who has the mentality for that spot. So I think we'll see her get an opportunity to finish.
JC Coleman
started more often going forward.
Yeah. JC Coleman with her 2nd career home run, both in the senior year. That ended up being the difference in the game. Cool. It was 2-0. She made it 4-0. Georgia Southwestern scored 3 in the 3rd. It looked like things were turned the other way, but Kinlaw dialed in the rest of the way and got the job done. Some great defense as well by many, especially Whitlock. Darren Miller, of course, is a beast in center, and then Coleman making the plays in right. So the outfield's been excellent. And I just think it really all comes down to having Devin Weller back at shortstop. She's the leader of this team, both at the plate and just the way she, shows herself defensively and performs out there. And they missed her badly when she was out. So I just hope that Devin will be able to continue to compete, and she'll be ready to go down the stretch run because that is someone that needs to be in the lineup and over there at short to lead that infield because she is a playmaker. She's just makes those ground balls, makes those plays look routine, and that's what you need at this level is to have someone with veteran experience who just knows how to do her job. And shortstop is the most important position on the infield, and you got to have a good one. And she has delivered, so that's important. And great to see Addie Reynolds continue to swing a hot stick. They put her on deep at DP, but she had a tremendous series. She had a couple of multi-hit performances, and then good to see our girl Alyssa Rose get the start at 2nd in the finale. Picked up a walk and scored. So awesome!
Yeah,
awesome
she was on base for JC's homer.
Yep, that's right.
Yep, pretty cool. I love to see her getting some opportunities. Limited, but I think she would probably agree that she's getting the opportunities that are appropriate for her this season. She's developing. She's there for the long haul. She wants to be, in a position when she gets to her senior year to be contributing to a winner.
Especially when you're eligible for postseason play and you're continuing to grow into that.
Yeah, Addie's having a heck of a year, man. She's batting .323, 6 homers, 25 RBIs.
And she had a pretty slow start. Like the first month, she was trying to find it. And then once March hits, once the weather got a little warmer, she is hitting the cover off the ball. And she had that one Player of the Week against Slander, where she went off in that series, and then she's kept it going for the most part. Even though she has hit home runs recently, she had two against Augusta on the road. She didn't have one in this weekend, I believe, but what she did do was continue to get on base and knocking hits, and just a really consistent. She's becoming a consistent performer at the plate, and USC needs more of that. I'm sure they would love some other players to stay high. I think Jaden Goodwin is she needs to be a spark plug as well, and she had a rough stretch midway through. She's gotten back to the form that we need to see from her. And
she's still hitting 424.
Yeah,
with a 525 on base.
Wow.
Yeah, no, she's been tremendous. So they have a lot of nice pieces there that you guys have said many times. They're so close to getting over the hump and winning a couple of those series or sweeping them.
Hey man,
just so close.
Yeah. Hey, how about the baseball team finally getting a win, man?
Yeah,
a much needed win. Good Lord,
it was looking dire
for that one. Yeah,
they got smoked in game 1. They were down pretty big in game 2, and then the rally starts. Little 4.
Julian Galassi playing the hero again.
Tie it up. Yeah,
yeah,
he's clutch, man. I like that dude a lot. But yeah, right here you got Sebastian Biggs tying it up. Hands up, baby. I like the hands up in the background. Tying it up right there. That was when I saw that was 12-8, and they had the bases loaded. I was like, oh, okay, let's see what happens here. Bang, bang, tie ball game. Here we go. And then Patterson came in relief, shut him down in the 11th, gave him a chance to win it in the 12th. Sebastian Biggs, once again, leading it off with the double down the left field line. Big time.
That's the one thing I like about USCB is they got some speed across the base path.
That's true. They don't have. We've talked about the dearth of power, but the flip side of that is speed. Brian Meyer, my boy Meyer, with the wipeout coming out of the box. He went full like roadrunner there.
I was there watching it too. I started dying laughing up in the booth.
He had a good laugh about it, and then Galassi
for sure
walks it off. I think Meyer's wipeout was actually effective because the pitcher was thinking about looking at third and seeing if he had a play there, and then Meyer went down and he looked over at him, and then it was too late, so he had to go to first. I don't know that he was going to be able to have a play anyway, but I like to imagine that Meyer's trip helped cross him up. We actually have a play in travel ball. We have the trip play, which many teams have. We're not the only ones who came up with it, but where you got first and third and you send the guy to steal second, but he trips and falls halfway between, and you try to get the catcher to panic and throw it somewhere, and then you break from third. Yeah. It's worked a number of times. Some kids are much better at selling the trip than others. I will say that. Some of them, it's pretty obvious that they're trying to trick you into something. Others, it's like, oh, it looks like he actually tripped and fell. Good job.
I want to remind everyone, this is the first win that USCB baseball has had since that Georgia Southwestern
March 3rd.
Yeah,
March 3rd.
It's been a while, ladies and gentlemen. We finally got a win out of them, man. And we got to play Snake Farm after the game, man. I was excited.
We won't talk about what happened in the game after.
Oh, yeah, no, we're not talking about that one. I think at that point, they kind of used up all their pitchers for that one game. And just by the time this first game, I had literally looked at the score and it was 8-0. I was like, oh, yeah, this game's done.
It got ugly fast, but they got the one. They ended the streak. That was the big thing. It was at 12, so that was getting dicey.
Yeah, I mean,
they still got some wins on the schedule. Yeah. They got Claflin. Aiken
they can win. They can win Claflin. They could easily win Claflin.
Yeah, Claflin. That's one you are expected to win. You're expected to win.
That's the one you look forward to all year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they need to take a couple off Aiken. That'd be good. But
that's where it could come down to.
Sure. I think that's
at the end of the year,
where it's gonna go. Because
I bet they're recruiting the heck out of some arms.
I think Aiken's sitting right above them in the conference.
So USCB's 3-12, Aiken's 5-10.
Yeah,
and Aiken has the last spot. They're in 8th. So the top 8 make it to the conference tournament. So they're
Has
2 games
Aiken played
back.
Claflin already?
Yeah. I can look it up. Let's see. They did. They already played them.
All
They
right.
they swept them.
All right.
So
That's good.
they still have
That is a good
Lander,
one.
Augusta,
That's a good
North
sign.
Georgia, and then USCB,
Yeah, so
which could end up determining
Ooh,
who
that
makes
could
it
be
in that
down to the wire.
final
'Cause, I
series.
mean,
so they don't have any easy wins left at all.
No,
I mean,
because
it's
they
going
got
to
to
be
play
a
North.
grind for them.
They got to play North Georgia, man. You got to play North Georgia and Augusta. Ooh,
Landers
boy.
a problem.
Lander's good
Yep.
too. Yeah.
I wish
That's
that was.
Lander
I wish,
scored 48 runs or something this weekend at USCB.
Yeah. And then USCB's got
And Augusta's got
Georgia?
pitching. So
Does USCB have an off week next week? I think they have an off week or something like that next weekend or this coming weekend, right?
For
playing, like,
USCB, I know
Georgia
softball's
Gwinnett?
playing Georgia Gwinnett.
Okay, that's
USCB
who I thought
baseball's
it
at
was.
Columbus State. So the USCB
Ooh.
baseball, their next 2 series are both on the road. Columbus State and Clapham. Softball team is on their bye week from conference play, so they're facing off against Georgia Gwinnett this weekend.
If they could win at least 2 games against Columbus State and at least 2 games against Claflin, that could come down to the wire with USC Aiken.
Oh, it could be a lot of fun.
I got Flagler in there too.
I wish it was here,
yeah.
not there.
Right?
Huh? Yeah.
Oh, Connor already given us a preview of tomorrow night. He'll be at the May River boys game, I guess.
Girls game, I guess, because
girls
the boys
game.
game
May
already
River
played.
girls game. That's
So
right.
I might join them and watch the game
There you
with
go.
them because
Tag team.
Yeah.
There you go. Sounds good. I'll be checking out the McCracken Bulldogs tomorrow night.
I have no idea what I'll be doing tomorrow. I'll probably be checking out a game. I just don't know which one.
There you go. We got time to figure it out. But let's bring this one in for a landing. The Lowco Booster Club helps make all this possible. We got the Court Lifestyle Pros. Lowco natives Daniel and Debbie Court are with Charter One Realty, and they want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Revive, rehab, women's health, and pelvic floor physical therapy. Great place if you have postpartum needs. Go see Dr. Allie and Dr. Jen. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel, as well as custom gift baskets and all kinds of other stuff. Go see them over on Argent Boulevard to see what all they can do for you at Eagle Creations. Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Go over there for some great conversation, spicy tacos, and great style. And Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry. Chris Odom will get your floors so clean, your feet will thank you. Almost all surfaces, excluding dirt. No dirt floors. Can't clean those. All the others, he's got it. So clean, your feet will thank you. That's Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry. That's the Lowco Booster Club. Fellas, who you want to shout out tonight?
Well, today's Monday, so we're going for our teams of the week.
That's right.
And I have one planned up this time, and I'm going to go over to Hampton County, give some love to those Hurricanes on the track. The Hampton County girls taking the Marwin Klein Invitational, and the boys tying Whale Branch for the title. So co-local champs over there, and some familiar names. Moan Lofty's from that tremendous football squad in the 400, taking the 400. Yep, and then some others as well. Makai Davis, you mentioned him, and then Big Kayvon Chisholm in the shot put. No surprise there. He's a beast. Yeah. I'd love to see some video of him competing out there, but and then. And on the girls' side for Hampton County, Alea Bush taking the 200, and then Alaya Mays in the 400, Tashana Leverett in the triple jump,
and the high jump.
And the high jump. So and then Kyra Garvin winning the shot put. So that Hampton County girls team, they've got some terrific athletes on that track squad.
I texted with Coach Hannah today. I thought we might be able to get one or both of the coaches Hannah on tonight, but they're up in Greenville for spring break. But Coach Rob Hannah said they feel really good about their girls' chances to win a state championship. And the guys they feel like have potential. Makai has not been at full health. He just signed to Marshall. Like he's legit. He's a point haul unto himself if he's, 100% and in shape for it. But I don't know. They're not sure exactly where he's going to be, come state meet time. But if he's in a position where he can go, point in 3 different events or something, then you got something. So they're legit. They're really, really strong. Tremendous coaching, obviously, tremendous culture that they've built there. Especially when the Hannahs are involved, it's going to be done right. So good call there. Who you got for your team of the week, Maxie?
Give me the Hilton Head Island boys baseball, man. Incredible week for them. 3-1 record on the week. They took 2 against Bluffton High School. And then you played who was it on Saturday? It was
they split with Atlantic Collegiate.
Atlantic Collegiate. So a great week for them. That puts them in a real solid spot in their region. So I'm excited to see how they played, how they keep playing. And I got to give it to them, man, because what I watched against Bluffton at Bluffton the other night, I mean, that's a real solid team to look at.
Yeah, no doubt. Solid choice there. I'll keep it with the Seahawks. I'll go Hilton Head girls soccer. Nice 3-0 win over Bluffton the other night, which was good to see. That's a solid Bluffton team. Shutting them out's no joke. And then another really impressive win tonight, 5-1 over Hilton Head Prep is that surprised me. Like beating them didn't surprise me, but I thought it'd be 2-1 or 3-2 or something. I did not think it would be like that. So that's good stuff for them. And again, Kyle Newcomb, tremendous work. It is not easy to come in. They had the same coach for a good while, Kit Seelbach. It is not easy to come in and take over a program and in the first year, like have that kind of buy-in. So he's doing a lot of things right and definitely has them going in the right direction. So much love there. Great coaching jobs all the way around. Hannah's, Bowman, and Newcomb doing great work. So for our teams of the week, what are you boys up to tomorrow night? Wes, you're going over to the soccer game. Max,
actually,
you know what you're doing.
I might actually head over since Connor's going to maybe we might stay close to home and watch the River boys at Hilton Head.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, so I think Connor's probably going to that boys game.
Okay. I don't think he clarified which one he's going to.
Game. Okay. I think he's probably going to the boys game, but we'll get that.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
His boy Savarese,
Yes.
He's pretty tapped into the boys right now. He's loving that beat. So right. I think that's probably where he's headed.
Yeah. But, in that case, I'll head over to the girls game. Just
the tank.
Make sure to contact him and let him know, and we'll get that squared away.
Yeah, we will for sure. I might also pop over to the tank and check out stuff after McCracken baseball.
I think we have some baseball as well going on over there.
Yeah,
the baseball team is also in action.
Trinity Christian.
Yeah, Trinity Christian.
But that's what I have on my schedule. Also got some golf, got some tennis. Got some lacrosse, Nation Florida Hilton Head boys, so that should be pretty good. Coastal Hurricanes visiting Hilton Head Christian on the soccer pitch, so should be a good night. Tomorrow night we'll get together and round it all up, talk about what all's going on the LowcoSports scene. But thanks so much to all of our sponsors who make all this possible. Thanks to everybody who showed up to listen or watch. And thanks to my running mates, Worldwide Wes Kerr and Mad Max Arraj. We appreciate you. Also, shout out to Jalen Sneed. Hung out with Shantae Ellison, his mom, today. We were getting her on video saying some nice things about LowcoSports and some things we're trying to do. But she gave us a little update, just talking to her about Jalen. And he's really excited for spring ball. Looking forward to showing out and hopefully earning a starting role for the Fighting Irish. And then China is graduating from South Carolina already, which is crazy. It feels like we were just covering her playing basketball a couple of years ago. So, but anyway, that was fun. Got out with Carlo today and went and saw Shantae down at USCB. So thanks again to everybody who came along for the ride. Thanks, fellas, for always making it a good time. And we'll do it again tomorrow night. Until then, for Wes Kerr and Max Arraj, I'm Justin Jarrett. Go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco!